Welcome to another episode of Airgun Detectives. I'm your host, JC, and our 1911 series continues. I'm always really excited about this series because I just love the 1911s. Anyway, today we get to take the mystery out of the Colt Commander. This is one put out by Umarex. But before we get into the gun, do me a favor, as always, if you hadn't, please subscribe. Hit that little subscribe button right down there in the corner. Also, if you have an opportunity, check out my website at www.airgundetectives.com. On that site, I've got t-shirts, I've got hats, I got my Generation 2 bipods, and I also have a limited number of these really cool compact scopes that I'm blowing out. So check that out when you have an opportunity. All right, let's get back to the subject on hand, which is the Colt Commander. Colt Commander. Okay, this is, as I said earlier, this is put out by Umarex. This shoots .177 caliber steel BBs, and it's powered by one single 12-gram CO2. And this has, you can see this has a dropout magazine, and the magazine itself holds the CO2. Magazine holds the CO2, and then it also holds 18 rounds, 18 BBs right here in the front. It's got a follower. You just pull this down and then load your BBs up like that. Anyway, so it's got a full dropout magazine. I really like these magazines because they have the valve that's built in right into the magazine. So if you ever have an issue with the valve, you just change out the magazine and you're good to go. Anyway, the Colt Commander here. As you can see, this one's been customized. I customized this one, obviously. They don't come quite looking like this. They look more like this. Go ahead and take a quick look. That's how you're going to get it. But these are great because these are on the KWC foundation. And the KWC to me is the best blowback because this actually has the full blowback. You can see how far this comes back. Anyway, this gun also has 3-dot sights on it. I'm going to go ahead and show you those right there. You can see that. This weighs a little over 2 pounds. It's 8.5 inches overall. And this is set up to look like a 5-inch. So technically, this is not really a Commander. A true Colt Commander has a 4 1/4 inch barrel and is about 7 3/4 inches overall. This one's about 3/4 of an inch too long, but anyway, this is what they're representing as their Commander. They claim this will shoot up to 325 feet per second, but you know, we're going to go ahead and test that. But again, I'm going to tell you, this is on the KWC Foundation, and they make quite a few different guns. We'll get into that at the end. But let's go out and let's go have some fun with this. Let's go test it. We'll see how well it performs, and then we'll come out and we'll talk about it some more. So stay tuned for the next segment. Okay, let's test out our Colt Commander for some velocity. It's not overly a warm day. It's probably in the 60s. We'll go ahead and shoot 5 shots over the Crony. We'll average it out. I'm just going to shoot a basic 5.1 grain zinc BB. So let's see how well this performs. I got a fresh CO2 in here, so hopefully our chronograph will cooperate. All right, shot number 1, 309. Shot number 2, 309 again. Shot number 3. Is that 309 again? Wow. All right, and shot number 4, 310, and one more shot, 311. Wow. So that had a really good standard deviation on that one. So just as advertised, this shoots a little over 300 feet per second. All right, let's move on to the next segment. Let's test our custom Colt Commander here. Test it out for a little bit of accuracy here. We're going to go ahead and shoot these, which I like a lot. These are the 8-inch splatterburst targets. I love the impact points. They're really easy to see. I'll leave a link for these down below in case you guys are interested in those, because they're actually a lot of fun, because you can, like I said, if you got older eyes, they're really easy to see. Anyway, but it's really nice to see the impact point. So what we're going to do is we're going to shoot 5 shots. I'm going to aim center mass, and we'll just see how well this groups. Now, we're at our usual 32 feet. Go ahead, take a look. All right, let's shoot 5 shots and see how well it does. We're just shooting regular zinc BBs. All right. That's one. Two. God, the triggers are so nice on these. Three. Four. It's all about controlling that trigger. And five. Wow, that's not too shabby whatsoever. Not too shabby. Anyway, so there's your group. Let's move on to the next segment. Do a little trigger test here on our Colt Commander, see what type of pull weight we have. These 1911s on these KWC foundations, they just have fantastic triggers. I'll tell you that right up front. Well, let's go ahead and do an official test here. We got our trusty Lyman trigger gauge. Let's do a pull, see what we get. £2, 1 ounce. 2 pounds, 1 ounce. Like I said, these are fantastic triggers on these guns. They really are. All right, let's move on to the next segment. All right, let's do some plinking with our Colt Commander here. We're our usual distance, same distance we shoot the targets from, 32 feet. That's what these are designed for, a little bit of plinking. But I set up some targets here. Go ahead, take a quick look. Yeah, we're gonna see what we can do as far as knocking these down. It's got some little shotgun shells there and some pop cans, a few other little objects. So let's just see how well we can do. I'll start with the bottom row. We'll start with the shotgun shell on the right side. All right. And okay, shotgun shell on the top. Not too bad. Not for a BB gun from 32 feet away. Anyway, but a lot of fun. You gotta like the blowback the whole bit with it. All right, let's move on to the next segment. All right, let's wrap this up with our conclusion. How well did our Colt Commander do? Well, I think it actually did really good, but you guys can be the final judge of that. But let's, like every review, let's talk about the negatives first on this 1911. I have a couple negatives. Number one, as you can see, this one does not have the white writing on it because I eliminated it. However, if you'll look at the stock one, I'll show you up close, it's got this white writing on that. But you can correct it. You can correct it with a little flat black paint. You can actually mask this off, which I did, sanded it down a little bit, touched it up with a little flat black paint. That'll cover that every time. I also don't like the packaging these come in. These come in a clamshell packaging. I don't know why they don't give us a box. I don't like that. And one other factor that bothers me, and it bothers me, this says Colt Commander. This is not a Commander size. This gun is 3/4 of an inch too long. And I am a big 1911 fan, and I have a Commander size 1911, a genuine one. Trust me, this is 3/4 of an inch too long. So I just wish they would have been a little bit more authentic with that. But let's talk about the positives with this gun, because there's a lot of them. Again, I said this is the KWC Foundation, and the KWC Foundation has the best blowback. It's the most realistic blowback. And you'll find the same KWC Foundation. Barra used it on the one we did a review earlier in the year. SIG, Tang Folio, Springfield, the John Wayne version, Swiss Arms, and I think there's one or two more out there. But those are just a few that use this same KWC Foundation. The only difference on them is maybe the slide might be a little bit different, the grips are different, triggers are different, or the sights on the top. But other than that, it's the same foundation. They all take the same magazines. But what I love about these guns is they're field strippable. I mean, look how customized this gun is. I totally customized this gun. And the reason that you can do that is because you can take it completely apart. I mean, every piece you can take this thing apart. It's amazing. But I did some customization on the frame, obviously. I did some polishing on this one, polished the trigger, and then obviously got the annoying white writing off of that as too. So another good thing about this Colt and the other KWC type Foundation 1911s is it takes true 1911 grips on it. You can actually put real 1911 grips on it. The only thing you'll have to do is you'll have to hollow out the inside of the grips a little bit to accommodate the CO2. Because if you look at it, the CO2, it sticks out a little bit on either side of the magazine. So that little space needs to be compensated for when you put these grips on. And it's real obvious. So you just got to hollow the center of it out just a little bit. You can do that with a Dremel or something else, but that's the only thing you need to do. But the size of the grip fits on there perfectly. The holes line up. It's great. But let's be more specific on our Colt here as far as the performance. The accuracy was really good. Guys, I was surprised. That shot at actually really, really good group. 4 out of 5 of them. I mean, look at the size of that group. It was amazing. This has a fantastic trigger on it. Fantastic. And the back strap safety here, this actually works. This gun will not fire unless that strap is pulled, or pushed, I should say, pressure on it. And then it will fire. But anyway, so it's got a really nice trigger. I like the sights on this. These 3-dot sights, they're really easy to get your target acquisition with it. And this gun shot at point of aim, which was fantastic. And I like the fact that these have these style dropout magazines. And I bet you guys didn't know this. I might have teased you with it on one of the previous videos. But get this magazine. See, I customized this one with a little rubber grip on it and what have you. Sometimes it'll hang up a little bit with the magazine. Got to help it out. But they make, I don't know if you can still get these, but look at this extended magazine. This is like a 30-round magazine. That goes right in those. And that, again, will fit in any of these KWC type pistols. But that extended magazine is pretty cool. But yeah, any of these guns, the magazine's interchangeable as long as you have that KWC foundation. So overall, I really like the performance and the looks of this gun. But it does bother me that they're calling it a Commander when it's not a Commander size. So how would I rate this? I'm going to give it 4.5 stars. If it was a true Commander, it may bump that up just a little bit. Still, this is an absolute must for your collection. And these are reasonable. I think these are just over $100, roughly right around there. It's kind of the same price of the other ones. Still, this is an absolute must for your collection because this gun is a lot of fun. And I just love the fact that you can customize them. You can customize them any way you want. Different grips. You can do different finishes on them, paint them different. But you can take these guns completely apart, and that is a huge bonus. It really is. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this 1911 series episode where we featured our Colt Commander. Don't forget, this is where we take the mystery out of the air gun. So until next time, I hope you're getting a lot of shooting in. I hope your families are all doing well. God bless and take care.